What happens when you forget to take out the trash barrels on trash day? Well, that's what happened to us this past week. And I asked my brother-in-law to take out the trash. He took out the trash to the trash barrel, but he didn't take out the trash barrels to the curb. And so, what do we have now? Two trash barrels overflowing with trash, trash bags on the side of the trash barrels, and it's just causing all kinds of problems. Three, in fact, that I want to talk about today. Number one, it stinks, right? We've got trash barrels full of trash. We've got trash bags next to the trash barrels, and it stinks. Number two, it brings flies. There's flies everywhere around that area because they can smell the trash, right? And number three, it prevents us from being able to throw away more trash because there's nowhere to put it. We just got to stack it up, pile it up there next to the trash barrels. So maybe not the biggest problem in the world, right? But it made me reflect on something. Sin, right? When we sin, it's the same thing as trash, right? We're trashing our soul. We're trashing who we are and who we're called to be. And so I was kind of using that as a metaphor, that whole idea of taking out the trash. Well, that works as a metaphor for confession, right? When we go to confession, we're taking the trash that we've piled up in our souls and getting rid of it, right? So I thought, well, those three things that happen to us for not throwing away our trash barrels are the same three things that happen to us when we don't go to confession, right? When we allow the sins to stack up. Number one, it stinks, right? So sin pollutes our soul. It prevents us from being the holy men and women that God has called us to be. Number two, it brings flies, right? So you might think that sin is individual, but it's not. Your sin affects other people, whether it's the example that you're giving to your children, to your wife, to your friends and family. No matter what, if you sin, you're affecting other people, right? We learned that through Adam and Eve, right? And so when we sin, we're allowing our mistakes and our bad decisions to affect those that we love, people around us. Just like the trash bags next to the trash can are attracting flies, right? And lastly, it prevents us from throwing out more trash. So the more you allow the trash to stack up, right? The more you allow your sins to accumulate, the easier it is to sin. The harder it is to prevent yourself from falling into sin and temptation again, right? Because, once we've done one thing, or maybe two, or maybe three, then it doesn't feel so bad because you become desensitized to it as sin. You begin to not even see it as sin anymore. It's just a normal part of life. And so I think that's what happens when we don't go to confession on a regular basis. So I would convince you this day, if you haven't been to confession in a while, make it to confession, right? Take out the trash. Get rid of that sin in your life so that you can be the holy man or woman that God is calling you to be. I'm Ricky Jones of Leaders That Follow. Have a blessed day.